Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about how you should always be learning and growing. The photography industry is changing constantly, and if you're not learning, if you're not changing, if you're not growing, you're going to get left behind, especially if you want to do something more commercial. So I'm Daniel Norton, photographer here in New York. I make videos like this about philosophy, about technique, about product sometimes, occasionally, not that often. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go ahead and leave a comment. No. Maybe subscribe. You could leave a comment if you wanted to, but probably subscribe is what you should do. In any case, ring the bell and you'll get the notifications, and let's talk about this. So I was thinking about this the other day because sometimes you encounter a photographer, typically they're like somewhat successful, and they'll tell you that, oh, no, I don't shoot unless I get X amount of dollars. You know, it's like, oh, I don't wake up for less than $1,000 a day, blah, blah. Yeah, well, let's find that person in a few years and see where they're at, what I would say. No matter where you're at, you should always be trying to grow, always learn. Because the reality is, to make it in photography, I feel like, and to really make it in photography, you really have to love photography. You have to want to do it. And if you want to do it, then you're going to do stuff all the time, you know. I could say, well, I'm never going to shoot anybody, anybody's headshot or any model pictures unless they pay me. And I'm sure that I could probably shoot a bunch if I did that. But the thing is, when you're getting paid, right? If somebody comes to me and they say, Daniel, I'm a new model. Can you shoot my portfolio? And I say, okay, blah, blah, blah. It's $5 or whatever, whatever you charge it. I never give actual numbers because who cares, right? The actual numbers don't matter. If I take their $5 to shoot their portfolio, right? Let's say that's the going rate, now I'm going to, right, as a good commercial photographer, knowing that I need to deliver and my reputation is on the line, I'm going to do the things that I know work, which means that if I always only just do that, I'm going to basically be boring and repetitive. And over time, as styles change, I will not be evolving and changing because I won't be trying new things. I can't try those things on this photo shoot where the person's paying me the $5. I want my $5, I don't want to do it and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I tried this technique and now you have crappy pictures. And then they go to, I'll still take their money, right? Oh, yeah, I'll take your money because I did the shoot. And then next thing you know, nobody wants to shoot with me because they're like, oh yeah, that guy took, for the $5 and didn't deliver pictures that got us work. So what you want to be doing is working on your portfolio even when you already have one. Because what's going to happen is over time, right? The better you get, right, the longer you've been shooting basically, the less likely you'll have that you'll actually produce a shot that you'll want to put in your portfolio. When you're first starting, you can go out there and shoot and like everything you're constantly learning, right? And you're like, oh, new thing, and you're building your book up. That's why if you're like a brand new photographer, if you focus, you can get a good, decent portfolio in a few months if you really focus at it. For somebody who's been around for a long time to completely change their portfolio, it might take them a year or more of like really, really shooting because they've already got such good stuff. They got to beat what's in there. Or they have to do something, right, that is different. And in order to do different things, generally speaking, you're going to do what's called trade shoots or testing, or sometimes I just say when I want to, do it, get together with a model or a friend, I'll just be like, hey, let's go play, because that's the way I look at it. It's like they're coming to you, you're going to them. You're going to have some fun. You're going to produce some images. I mean, in theory, you might produce complete crap that nobody can use, but that's what you know, right? You know when you're going to do that. And maybe you start off by shooting like a safe image just so you have it because they came out there for you. But you really want to push the limits when you can. And that's why it's good to have friends, make friends that'll work with you. And when I say friends, like people that you interact with and relate with that are, let's say, your subjects. Not every person that I ever photograph would I then call back to shoot something, for a test shoot or whatever. But people that I vibe with, that we have good connection, those are the people, I bring them back. And then you often see them in NaNoWriMo videos because those are the people I use for those, because I want to work with people that, especially for the videos, that I know them. I know their personalities. I know that we're going to have a good time because we're trying to, teach something that's very difficult. One thing you probably can't understand until you do it is how difficult it is to be the model on something like one of these video shoots that you guys see. Because normally when you're a model, right, you show up, the photographer is like, hey, blah, blah, blah. You start shooting, you're interacting, you're making good pictures. when video shoots are happening, like they literally have to stand there and wait while you're setting up all the video stuff. And they got to do it again. Oh, I screwed it up. I got to do that again. Less so with me because I usually do them live. But even the ones that are pre-recorded, I usually just shoot them live. But when you do like single camera stuff, like when we very first started on set, it was all single camera. You have to repeat things, and oh man, it's tough to be a model. So for them to be able to put up with that, yeah, you got to have some good people for that. So thank you to all the good models that I've worked with, because it is not easy. But anyways, I digress. I think one thing that's funny is would you have to consider though is this. You want to always be shooting and growing, but make sure that you're doing it with people at your level. Like I will say that you can be a little bit draw a line somewhere where, like, if you're an established photographer, well, school's out, so people are starting to come by. You don't have to work with just about anybody. I mean, you'll have a lot of people that are asking you. You might have, a bunch of people asking you to shoot. I actually really love shooting with people that have never shot before. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I often don't, put up that wall where it's like, oh no, I only need experienced models. I tend to like the opposite. But certainly once you're established, you can pretty much do that. And you can say, well, I'm only going to work with people that have a portfolio that's at least as good as mine, somewhere in that range. That way, you're not like wasting your time if you're that kind of person where you think that might be a waste. Especially if you're trying to build a certain kind of look. Like if you're trying to build like a fashion portfolio, then you're going to need a certain kind of model. So when somebody shows up and they're not that kind of model, don't feel bad about being like, well, no, I have to charge you because it's not the kind of work I'm looking for. I mean, that is 100% legit. You shouldn't just work with anybody. But at the same time, don't be the person that's like what I like to call a hired gun and like they're only ever going to shoot when they get paid. Because I think when you do that, what will happen is you'll become stale over time. You'll just start doing the same thing over and over and over again. And actually, where we see this happen the most, or where I started happening, is people, as I kind of progressed through the ranks, was older, like very established photographers. Like people that I would work for that would like be doing these big projects, when I first met them. And then you see them 5 years later and their style is still exactly the same. And it's like, time's moved on, man. People are going to stop using you. And it does happen. I mean, commercial stuff moves slowly. So, Kellogg's or something like that, like it takes a long time before they change what the cereal boxes look like. But eventually they do. And if you don't grow and change with that, and you're the guy shooting the Kellogg's boxes, eventually they're going to take somebody new. So you want to have, new, fresh styles in your book. You want to have new, fresh styles in your head. You want to have ideas. You want to keep growing and changing. In order to do that, you just have to do it. I mean, it's like exercise. You got to go out there and do it. So I would say never feel like that you've got where you need to go and you don't want to change anything. Like even if you look at like a portfolio, like I would say my portfolio, yeah, I've been doing this a long time. I don't put a new shot in my portfolio that often. It's got to really be like something that's like, okay, yeah, this is something that really feels like it stands out to me as something new. Especially because I do a lot of portraits, which are kind of, at least semi-timeless. When I was doing strictly fashion, I would have new stuff in. I mean, stuff didn't stay in my book more than 6-7 months because you wouldn't want last year's stuff in your book. You need to be changing it. But with portraits and fine art and certain things, food to a certain level, certainly regular commercial product photography, those shots can be really long-lived. So you need to push yourself to find something really new and different to pull it out of your book. But that doesn't mean I'm not doing it. Like I'm shooting, like I shot yesterday, I'm actually shooting tomorrow. Things that you guys will never see, probably. I mean, you might see the photos, but you won't see the videos. Whatever. I'm not doing it for a video. I'm not doing it for a tutorial. I'm just literally meeting with friends that I've known and gonna take some pictures and we'll see what happens. Sometimes when I do that, oftentimes, kind of the reason why I do it, I'll come up with something cool. And from there, I'll be like, okay, we should do a video about this. And then I'll redo it either with that person, if I can, or with somebody new. But that way I'm not like trying something brand new when I'm trying to make a video, because that doesn't make any sense either. We only do that when we do the hour-long live ones. We just mess around. And even then, most of the time we kind of, I'm not doing anything that new. When I'm trying like something very brand new or very different, I'm not gonna... They have their winter tires on still. We get snow up here in the Northeast, and they put those tires on so that they can drive in the snow. But this year, knock on wood, there has not been a lot of snow. So hopefully it will not snow. I am sitting outside. Hopefully this is the beginning of the loud outside videos again. So I know you guys have said that you miss those. So anyways, we're outside. I lost my track again. But anyways, so yeah, that's the point, right? So make sure that you are practicing testing, growing, changing. Those things are going to be super important. If you're not doing that, then you're basically stagnating. So get out there and shoot. We're doing it because we love it. Remember that you love it. And also, I'll say this too, because this is important. And this is something that can be very difficult. While you should always be trying to produce your best work, I think it's a bad idea, and I think there's probably a lot of people who tell you that you should do this. I'm going to tell you not to. Don't go out there with the intention of, I'm making a shot for my portfolio. Just go out there with the intention of, I'm going to make a great shot. I'm going to make a shot that I'm really going to like. I'm going to produce a shot that I really want to do. I have an idea I want to try. Those are the things that should be going through your head. Because with that thing, then you might get a good shot, and then you put it in your book. If you go out there like, I got to do it for your portfolio, then all of a sudden you're on assignment. And when you're on assignment, there's more stress, and you're going to be less likely to just try something. So just go out there and shoot, and let your subject know, if you are shooting a subject, that, yeah, I just want to try something. We may or may not get great shots. Don't worry, I'm going to buy you lunch or whatever, however you want to do it, or shoot. I'll do your headshot another time for free, or whatever you need to do to make it worthwhile. But let them know that, you know what, it may not be a fantastic shot, but if it comes out, it's going to be great, So that way it's fair. You don't want to lie to people. I mean, I definitely have encountered models where they're like, yeah, I went out and shot all day with this photographer, testing, and got nothing. Yeah, you want to make sure that you tell them up front that could be the case. So I will throw that out as a little last bit thing. But, go out there, try, shoot, do different things, go out of your comfort zone, just try something completely different. And if you can get a technique down from that, then apply it to your other shoots. Now, when you do go on the regular shoot, right, when they come and they offer you the $5, it works. So you can be like, hey, I can do this. And boom, you've got this cool thing going on. I remember that I did this shot of this. It was actually for she was a rapper. And she wanted this like wet window thing. And I tried a lot of different things to get it to look the way. I mean, the simplest way to do it is the glycerin sprayed on the window. You see people do that a lot. But it didn't look the way I wanted it to look. And I wanted to shoot directly through it. And to make it more difficult, she wanted it to be a black background. So if you think about this, if you understand what a mirror is, literally black velvet with a person, then glass in front of them, it's basically a mirror. So figuring out how to shoot that without reflecting myself and figuring out how to get the glass to look the way I wanted it was tricky. And it took me some practice, and I actually practiced just shooting the glass alone many times before the subject showed up. And I even brought a friend in and did it. And then after I did that and I had it in my book for a while, I must have got booked like 10 times to shoot similar things for people, just because they wanted that shot. Nobody else was a musician. They were usually models, or they just wanted a cool shot like that, with variations. But basically, so I'll just quickly tell you how to do it, because somebody asked me how to do it. So basically what you do is you need to cover yourself in velvet as well, with just the lens sticking through. That's how you don't reflect. And the way that I got the window, I'll try to find the shot. I doubt I'll find it and stick it in this video, but I'll try to find it at some point and put it. What we ended up doing was we actually, I froze the glass. And by freezing the glass, it actually created its own beads that were really interesting. And then I also sprayed it. But I basically froze the glass, and that completely changed the composition, because when you hit it with the water and the glycerin, it actually stayed a different way. And it was pretty cool. It actually worked much better than just shooting it with glycerin. So, if you want to try that. It's not easy, because you need a big enough piece of glass to get to be in the photo, but also small to fit in your freezer. So, yeah. And then I had a bunch of pieces of glass after, which I don't know what I ever ended up doing. I guess I used them for different things. But it was super fun. And again, that was experimenting, and it was really, really fun. And I didn't wait till I was on a job getting paid to do it. I tried it ahead of time because, I knew that this is what they wanted. I mean, I knew I could have done it the other way, the simple way, but I was like, I really want to try something different. So like I said, I tested and I tried it, and I created a new technique that I was able to do. Now I feel like I need to make a video doing this. This may be a video at some point. If you guys want to see it, let me know, put a comment or whatever. Or let me know how you guys do glass with stuff. I know that Seth did one live, and I think he used the glycerin is how he did it. That's pretty much the way you do it. Try freezing it. I'm curious if people try it and see what it looks like. I got the idea because I watched, the way I got the idea was, I actually knew a product photographer. I had shared a studio with him, and he used to do lots of drips on glasses, and he would always freeze the glasses first. And I was like, the mugs. And I was like, I wonder if that would work for a plane of glass. And sure enough, it did. It worked exactly the same way, and it was pretty awesome. Of course, you had to wait until the fog went away from it, whatever. Wow, that really went in a circle. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So keep trying, keep testing. Don't be the person that will only work for money. But of course, also know your value. I don't want to say you should always work for free. And make sure that you can always like progress, so that you're not that person standing back there going, oh, these new people doing this. That, you know what, you don't want to be that. You want to be one of those new people, right? And you can be the new person and have been around a long time. You can push things forward, even if you've been in the industry a long time. You just got to keep changing and growing, and it's fun. It keeps it alive if you're constantly doing different things. The person that just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, I kind of feel like eventually it's just going to burn out. So hopefully you don't. Hopefully this is good information for you. Let me know what you like, guys. Let me know about how you grow, how you shoot, how often do you shoot, what do you guys do? I know some people that watch this are commercial photographers. Some of you guys just do it for fun. So like, how do you figure that out? Do you tell people up front, hey, I'm just trying something, or do you do something safe? I'm really curious about that. So anyways, leave some comments. Subscribe if you have not already, and ring the bell, and I'll see you next time.